and she was literally crying because he was being so aggressive. Like, I guess, you know, he was just too big for her. I mean, she was like full blown crying, and he was like slapping her, like, you like that? Like, you know, I was just
gagged me until I threw up into it, and then he like pissed in the bowl, and during the scene he asked me to drink it, and I didn't know how to say no. It was one of the most disgusting.
Oh, I'll give you $100 if you take off your panties for me. And you know, I was vulnerable, I was young, I was like, oh, like, no harm. Like, okay, like, he just wants my panties. Like, heck yeah, $100. Like,
but
that's
then
gonna pay my bill.
They're gonna be like, how much?
They kept pushing, and put me up, and once they like put you on the spot,
like, about like being pressured to do like more and more things, more hardcore things. So there's two different main genres of porn. There's Gonzo porn, which is the aggressive porn that you guys are talking about. It's the rough anal sex. It's the choking. And I'll go more into that. And then there's vanilla porn, which is what Olivia's talking about as ethical porn, is what I think you would consider. Yeah. It's just like classic, like missionary, like just like basically like artsy sex.
I was just I'm kind of laughing the inside because I've had someone.
Sounds like simping sex to me. Remember, missionary is simping? Sounds like simping sex to me. Or simping porn.
I'll be vanilla before.
I mean, I love vanilla.
Like, why are you so vanilla? I'm like, what do you mean?
It makes me kind of hungry, but I've never even heard of the term Gonzo, to be honest.
Yeah. So Gonzo is the first level of it, I would say, would be it's just like, there's no like artistic vision to it. It's just like rough, hardcore sex. And that could be vaginal penetration. The next level up would be anal penetration in a Gonzo style. And then there's a level far more than that. And I would say that during my time in porn, I'm not sure what is like the hype right now in porn. It goes through like different phases. But during my short stint in porn, the really extreme acts were what was popular. And that's why, being the number one performer in the industry at the time, everyone wanted to make money off me. So they pushed me to do these things. And it just gets really extreme, like you were saying, abusive.
Did you ever go through those experiences where you had to do a scene where it was very aggressive and you just felt like...
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go into too much detail. Like, honestly, some of my experiences are really humiliating for me, and I wish that they never happened. There's stuff going on, like people getting pissed on. Men are pissing inside of women's vaginas, assholes, down their throats.
Hey, one of my subscribers sent me this. I'm just reacting to it. Like, I have my own thoughts about these actresses and performers. As long as it's not trafficking and you're willingly signing up, it's not like you don't know what's going on. It's not like, hey, I just saw you. Would you like to be a porn star? Oh, what does that entail? Oh, just some modeling. Oh, okay. Well, sure. You're not going to bother to inquire. You know, this is 2021, right? We can't say that we don't have the internet and we don't know what porn is or what goes on, so on and so forth, or we don't know what we're signing up for, or what's going to happen. I mean, and this stuff is just like, wow.
Sorry.
Oh, don't cry.
Told myself I was negative.
Now I'm crying. I'm like, God damn it. No, don't cry.
I'm just giving some examples. But
no, that's really hard. And I think, like I had mentioned earlier, it's just so important for young men to stop viewing women as sex objects, because I believe that, you know, instilling that curriculum in school at a younger age and
Guys, stop objectifying women, because when you objectify women, it makes them want to show their bodies even more, and it makes them want to do porn. It makes women want to do porn because they don't have a mind of their own. Because you objectify them, that means that you're creating a source of income for them who may not otherwise have any other talent outside of doing these horrendous acts that they're doing, because a good guy just won't suffice. I have all these issues all these issues, and because of my issues, I'm a victim. So therefore, I will voluntarily, not trafficked, I will voluntarily go into and perform these acts. But because I'm performing these acts, I want you to feel sorry for me. And, play the violin and all that other stuff. But it's your fault because you're objectifying women. Let's not forget.
They had actually said, there's a fact that says that the more a young person had learned about the use of pornography from their school education or sex education is less likely to see women as sex objects. And I feel that's why, I feel so passionate about the porn industry, because I don't believe that they should be showing those types of scenes, because it does view women as just an object, and it's not okay to do that. Like, I enjoy watching porn. Like, girl, like but like, I want to watch ethical porn. I want it to be normalized, and I want it to be taught to where it shouldn't be, to where
the hypocrisy is so strong. The hypocrisy is so strong. You're doing these things. I like to watch it, but I only want to watch it. Man, you watch all the other shit too. I want to watch it only under these conditions. That's ethical. Since when the hell is porn in general ethical? But ethics, for the most part, I don't have the definition, but it's generally some rules or not rules, but some principles that most people can agree upon. And I think most societies would believe that you wouldn't throw on porn during family night. You wouldn't play it at a repast. You wouldn't play it as a commercial advertisement. But they have all these other subgenres in it, right? That people want to watch, and these women are willing participants. And it's, bruh, man. I wonder when they be talking to it, it's like their brain, does it just like, I'm not going to hear this part. This is coming out, but I'm not going to put this shit together. It makes sense. Wow.
A woman is being abused and is, like the male is showing aggression, because that actually is going to translate into his relationships with women in the future, his wife. Like, it's actually statistically proven that it's going to show aggression in a marriage and a relationship. And that's, how is that healthy? Like, that's not healthy at all.
Well, a lot of it is like young boys don't understand, and they think that this is normal and that's what girls want. So they've probably never been with a girl before, and they see these horrible things, and they're like, oh, this is how to please a girl. This is what I have to do.
Yeah.
This is what she wants. And then they, do these things and they act certain ways, and they don't realize the effects that they're having on women.
Yeah, well, they do say that serial killer and rapists are the ones who are consuming these extreme types of porns. A lot of serial killers, when they've gone through their search history, they're watching like these abusive porn, and there's tons of pornography on their search history.
I'm not gonna lie. I obviously, like I said, I've watched porn. I do.
Yeah, there's
stumbled.
nothing wrong with watching porn.
Yeah, but I've stumbled upon some videos where, I'm not gonna lie, I really questioned, why is this even allowed on the internet? Like, I felt very, like, I was just turned off. I was like, shut my laptop. Like, I can't even look at.
How long did you watch it though for, baby? That's what I want to know. How long were you tuned in to this foolishness, to this debauchery?
So I was like, I cannot believe that this is okay. Like, this is not okay to treat women like this.
Yeah. Well, I know that I got emotional, but I do want to continue giving examples of some of those things, just so people know. What were some of the things?
Don't you love when they talk like that? I like to give some more examples of this, and like, because of this, and excuse me for a second. Did you feel like that every single time you did a scene? Just interested. And when you're cashing your check, were you just like, I need all 10s. Give me all 20s.
That you saw that you were like, wow, this is really crazy.
Yeah, there was one scene where I had seen, obviously the male was having sex with a girl, and she was literally crying because he was being so aggressive. Like, I guess, he was just too big for her. She was like full blown crying, and he was like slapping her. Like, you like that? Like, I was just like, oh my God, how can this, I could not get off to this. I don't know who watches this.
But you couldn't turn it off or you couldn't turn away. It's people who are into shit like that.
Some people have that fetish, and it's crazy.
Yeah,
and that's why
insane.
they put it out there, because they're like, oh, somebody will watch it, which is just like, no offense, but like that's disgusting, because obviously she's not okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, to me, it really makes me sad, because I think of the girl.
I wonder if that was her first and last performance, but whatever.
And I think, wow, like, I can just see it in her eyes that she did not want to do this scene, but she's doing it because of the reasons of, she needs the money, or this is a flexible job for her right now. She was convinced, she was pressured, she was manipulated into doing this by her agent, because he, told her, like, it's either this way or the highway. Like, I can't even imagine how that girl felt having to do something that she clearly...
It's a flexible job. Can't do Uber, DoorDash, Lyft, can't do Shipt, can't waitress, can't do any of these other things. And I was pressured into doing this because I don't have any other talent. There's nothing else I can do in this world except bust it open. Astounding.
Does not want to do. Like, this is not acting. Like, she's full-blown crying. There's just no way she's acting and enjoying this, so...
Yeah. No, I've had friends who have been choked out so much that they've actually passed out during a scene. There's really just like crazy stuff going on that damages people's bodies for the rest of their lives. I luckily don't have any issues, but I've seen scenes shot in Europe where guys are literally punching into a girl's asshole like this, and like she's going to have issues for the rest of her life due to this. And is it worth someone making a little bit of money and someone jerking off to it? One of the worst, honestly, I feel like I'm in denial sometimes and I can't accept some of the things that I've done. There is one thing that, I tried talking to a therapist about before, something that I had to do for a scene that was really rough for me. Basically, this guy had a bowl and he like gagged me until I threw up into it, and then he like pissed in the bowl, and during the scene he asked me to drink it, and I didn't know how to say no. It was one of the most disgusting, foul scenes I ever had to do, and I'm telling a therapist this and they don't even fucking know what to say to me.
Yeah, because that wasn't in this in the script. It was just ad hoc. It was just off the cuff, That was nowhere in your description of the itinerary of what was going on that day. He just made that shit up on the fly. Now you guys can say I'm being hard, right? I firmly believe whether you're addicted to something, you're a freak for attention, you need some sort of attention. Once you cross that threshold, you have no moral compass. But then, this same industry that may have been able to do these things for you, right, that you couldn't let go, you're talking about it.
No one can relate. Like, no one fucking knows what to say about it.
And so when it obviously, I don't know how like porn is shot. They don't tell you beforehand. Did they tell this guy to do these things, or did he just in his own brain?
This one, my agent was actually very pissed about.
Okay.
And again, like, I'm not saying that I was raped.
But you were put in the spot. You were
I told this guy, like, yeah, I'm excited. Let's do this. I didn't know how to say no. I just wanted everyone to be happy. So I can't blame anyone. All that I can do now is make the best of my experiences and accept it, which is really hard for me to do. Sorry, what was your question again?
I think you pretty much answered my question. But no, I was just gonna, chime in. Had to do something that you didn't want to do, or you felt pressured. I definitely can relate to that, just even by like working at Hooters. I know, you have worked there. I obviously have a little longer history of that, and I definitely was a sex object. Like, that's who I was viewed as working at Hooters. Clearly I was the complete opposite of that. But I definitely was pressured into some things that I didn't want to do with men. They had the audacity to ask me to literally go give them a hand job behind the dumpsters. Yeah, you know.
I'm sorry, it's not funny, but
no,
it's like comical.
It's comical.
It's behind a dumpster.
No, I was really thinking, first off, why not at least the car?
Yes, like a dumpster.
So for one thing, it's called Hooters, right? If you've ever been in Hooters, you understand what these girls. The main principle of Hooters is for women to showcase their breasts and buns. A lot of times, women lack buns, but as long as they got breasts. So you knowingly are working at a restaurant where you're going to be, you know, catch stares. You're going to be objectified. Men may say some things. Your job a lot of time is to flirt with men. Writing your name on a paper towel and basically to come across extra friendly outside of just being a normal waitress. That's how you make your money. And it's just weird that, do you expect, so if men just basically don't pay you any attention at all? But yeah, that's some weirdos. Dudes going, I mean, if dudes want to shoot their shot like that, that's a little bit too far. Just assuming that, you know, unless they were told otherwise, they figured, you know, that's just like, damn, you just basically propositioning like, yo, behind a dumpster. You may be stretching the truth, man. Real men got more respect for women than that. Come on now.
Can you imagine you're at a restaurant and you have the audacity to look at your waiter Hooters? What do you mean? I don't give a fuck.
After I finish my chicken tenders, can you go jerk me off behind this dumpster?
Yeah, oh my God.
But they would push my limits. Like they would just kind of like joke around at first, or like, oh,
and
I'll give you
quite
100.
touchy sometimes too, no?
Yeah, and you know.
Hey man, dudes be testing the waters, man. They look at it as the sex industry as well. I'm not saying I would do some shit or I approve of that, but dudes feel like if you put yourself in a position where you're showcasing your goods, and you ladies can argue all you want, they figure that you might be into something like that and may be willing to pay you. And I'm pretty sure there are Hooters waitresses who do that.
They were like, oh, I'll give you $100 if you take off your panties for me. And, you know, I was vulnerable. I was young. I was like, oh, like, no harm. Like, okay, like, he just wants my panties. Like, heck yeah, $100. Like,
but
that's
then
going to be my bill.
They're going to be like, how much?
They kept pushing
and
put me up. And once they, like, put you on the spot, like, it's so hard to, like, say no. And you feel so awkward because you don't want to, one, ruin a relationship with a client who comes into Hooters every single day, who is basically paying your bills, who's tipping you, you know, two, you don't want to piss them off to where they're going to go say something. So, you know, I definitely can relate on the pressure thing, and I can definitely understand how you felt like being put in a situation that you did not know you're going to be put in, because it is so hard to get out of that. So, you know, like, I definitely understand sex workers and the porn industry a lot more just because I've had personal experiences that I can relate to.
Guys, it just seems like it's the difference between trafficking and doing these things. If you're voluntarily doing this, you sign up for this because you know it's a part of the job. Things come with it, you know, especially showing your body off. You're going to be a pro. Guys are going to say, even at a regular restaurant, guys are going to say some weird stuff. I'm not saying that it's right, but at what she just said something, and then she turned around and said, yeah, I did. This last young lady, yeah, I turned around and did it because I needed $100, so I took my panties off, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I understand being objectified, but I don't want to ruin this relationship because this guy pays my bills. So it's a problem, but it isn't a problem. This is what's wrong with society as well, man. These things like this. So let me know what you guys think, man. Let me know what you guys think about this situation. Make sure you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't, hit me up on Calendly and Linktree. Purchase all my products on there as well. And with that being said, peace be upon you all, the mercy and blessings of the Almighty, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.
It's Gonzo, the beat maker.
And I don't know. I haven't put a light in the sky for the G's that done turn memory from go. Blessings we send to the ghetto youth them.